All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation. And that is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man who only came for the Israelites. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, primarily here in the Western Hemisphere, but also to the rest, scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, who look like the other nations, but through the patrilineal lineage go back to the Hebrew Israelites. All right? So what we have here is a incident where this woman, what you see, the so-called black woman, the ninja woman, had a discrepancy with the gym that she went to as being charged to a card that she had on file that she told them to take off of file, but still got charged and went to get a $2 bottle of water and all hell broke out. Okay, she was loud, she wasn't compliant, and she called the police to report that they had did some, I guess unethical business acts towards her by charging her for a card that she told to take off file, but was still being charged and putting it on the other card, that she wanted to buy this water. And we're going to let the video play, okay? Because she ended up being restrained and at the end had to be put in a cage, and it's just comical, man. Okay, it's just comical. All right. Matter of fact, we're gonna open up this scripture right here in Deuteronomy chapter 25. All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 25, and we're going to read verse 4. Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 25 and verse 4. It reads, "Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn." So you see, even the ox, when he treadeth out the corn, you're not supposed to put a muzzle on him because, you allow him to eat because he's working. But this ox right here, she just continued to run her mouth until she had to be muzzled, okay? Now, they didn't put her mouth, which they should have put a muzzle on her mouth. They didn't put a muzzle on her mouth, but they had to put her on a gurney and strap her down just to transport her to the damn headquarters, okay? As we're going to see towards the end of this clip, all right? She would not comply after being arrested for disorderly conduct. She was told numerous times to put her feet into the car. She never once complied. And then they had to call the ambulance to transport this ox. Okay? Because why? She didn't want to comply, so they had to strap her ass down to a gurney. Okay? So enough of the talking. Let's let this play. Let's read this one more time. Deuteronomy 25 and 4. "Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn." Okay? Because usually an ox, they'll eat the whole field. All right? They got a big mouth, just like this Eve right here, this so-called black woman have. All right? But at least when they treading out the field or treading out the corn, they have a purpose. So you allow them to eat. And that's what Paul was referring to, I believe, in 1 Timothy 5 and 18. All right? Let's get that. And then we'll let this play. This is 1 Timothy 5 in verse 18. It says, "For the scripture saith, Thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn. And," this is the red letters, this is Yahweh Shai, "the laborer is worthy of his reward." Right. So you see, the ox is worthy of his reward. Okay. Why? Because he's actually working. So you take the muzzle off his mouth and you allow him to eat while he's working. All right. But other than that, you don't let the ox go out in the field if they not working, because why? They'll overeat it. They'll overwork it. Okay. But this ox right here, she just continued to run her mouth, man. All right. So let's let this play.
A gym visit to remember, the Blink Fitness saga of June 8th, 2023. Spoiler, it didn't end with a treadmill session.
Did you call for us? Hi. Can we speak? What's up?
She stole my money.
Okay. Do you work here? Do you
No.
go here?
I work out here. I'm a Blink member, but I don't work here. So if I did, I wouldn't be wearing this.
Okay.
See, you can see if the ox was going to work out, you may, what's the word I'm looking for? You may, damn, this ox right here, you can side with these oxes that go to work out, and if they singing, they working out, you can relate to them, because sometimes they get in the mood where they sing to try to get the weight off of them. But this ox, she hadn't even went into the gym and started to work out before she started running her mouth, man. Because you'll see them on the treadmill. They got their headphones on, they singing. All right, you can, relate to them, or you can at least bear their singing, although it be off key sometime, because they trying to get their bodies in shapes, they trying to get their physical body in shape, man. But this ox hadn't made it to the treadmill to start working out, man. So at this point in time, she should have been muzzled, man. And these police officers, they were very, patient with this ox, all right? Because they should have been muzzled, this wildebeest right here, man. All right?
How did you know she stole your stuff, and what stuff are we talking about?
What did you say?
How did you know she stole your stuff, and what stuff are we talking about?
Why are you here? Because I have the time for this. Why are you here? Actually,
Did you call me?
I don't want to talk to you.
Hi.
Hi. She stole my money.
What began as a simple gym visit turned into a full-blown spectacle when Clementina Udiogalanya decided that rules and reality didn't apply to her.
So, I'm going to over-exaggerate what happened so that you can understand why I feel she stole my money. And the reason why I'm going to do that is I'm a licensed attorney. So here I am, walking in, ready to do my workout.
Did she say she was a licensed attorney? Let me read.
This is all my back.
Decided that rules and reality didn't apply to her.
So, I'm going to over-exaggerate what happened so that you can understand why I feel she stole my money. And the reason why I'm going to do that is I'm a licensed attorney. So here I am.
There it goes, man. She's a licensed attorney, so now she feels, obligated to come to an establishment and, what we gonna see unfold, man. She's a licensed attorney, so you can't tell Eve nothing. See, you give Eve a little power, and by the looks of her name, she could be Nigerian, okay? So you give Eve a little power, man. You let her know the law a little bit, and now she thinks she knows everything, all right? That's why, hey, Deuteronomy 25:4, Muzzle not the ox, while he treadeth the corn, roughly paraphrasing. As long as the ox is being beneficial, you don't put a muzzle on his mouth, man. But the second he's through treading out the corn, you put a muzzle on him, you make sure he don't overeat or, over till the land, man. Okay? Same way with this ox right here, man. She should have had a muzzle put on her mouth way sooner than what, they did. And they didn't put a muzzle on her mouth. They just restrained her and tied her down to a gurney.
Walking in, ready to do my workout.
This is all my back, or I'm right over here.
Walking in, ready to do my workout. Common practice is that if you have to have it, make it and sign in if you're a member, right?
Yeah.
Then charging a card that shouldn't be charged. I specifically went to Blink, not even just regular Blink, but the specific Blink I signed up with to make sure that they have the card on the file. Because you should be able to just update your card on your file. But for some reason, let's say I downloaded the wrong Blink. Let's give the benefit of the doubt to a stupid Blink. And by Blink, I mean Blink Fitness. That I downloaded the wrong app, because that could happen. Get my order. Gonna go put my bag, purse in the locker. Okay. In a locker. Full disclosure, I don't have a locker. There's cameras everywhere. So I can confidently say what I'm saying. Even if there was no cameras, but that's even, now I know, that's even, that I can relax. I don't need the confidence. I heard someone saying, hi, not too sure who it is, because it was happening behind me. Okay. This thing, I have to be offensive. This thing, I don't want to call her the beaver. This thing literally said hi to people that were looking at her, were literally working out, talking to themselves. Two people that were doing that. How do I know? Because they're here. She literally jumped in front of me and then said, "Well, shit, in order for you to stop me from what I was doing, she jumped in front of me, stop me from walking."
That was after the locker, right?
No, that was on the way to the locker. And it's because I hope that the reason why this guy showed up is that this has to be a learned lesson, so this never happens again, especially not to me. Anything in my life. I had my purse. Okay.
All right, I'm going to try to get it to the part where the male officer shows up, because that's when, things start to get out of control. All right, as of right now, Eve, this ox, because you go into that word ox, it means bull or head of cattle, okay? And this is a whole herd right here, man. All right, so this ox, she's somewhat, dialed down a little bit, but once she gets the order from the male officer, that's when, it's time to put a muzzle on this ox, man. So let's see if we can get to that part.
Because you and I both know, if I say arrest her, she should be arrested. If the issue was my balance, by helping you say, hey, you have a balance, and I know this might sound dumb, but for to let you look like we're going there, you have to pay that balance. I would have explained to her, hey, I have a card on file. How do you guys keep charging the card that shouldn't be on file? In fact, I specifically said, I probably said, take it off. But I specifically said, charge this new card all the time. And then stop charging this new card when I saw that you did it again, still charging the old card, old card, or wrong. I'll give you that. Yeah.
So her discrepancy is that they're charging her old card instead of the new card that she told to put on file. All right, which we know these gym memberships, they don't have the most competent people working there, but still, okay, when the officer gives you lawful orders, you got to obey them, man. All right, you live to see another day. All right, as it says in Matthew 5, I believe 25, agree with thy adversary, before thou, let me go there and get that. This is St. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 25. It reads, this is Yahweh Shai, red letters, agree with thy adversary quickly whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. And this is exactly what this ox is heading to, all right, into a cage in prison. Now, she stated earlier she was a licensed attorney, so she may be able to get away. She may be able to talk her way out of it once she get down there, but she didn't have to go through that, Okay? She could have just, resolved this in civil court or what have you, being a licensed attorney, and she could have got, reparations that way. Okay? She didn't have to take it all the way to the prison term. Go down to headquarters and get booked and get in prison.
Yes, and went back and put the card on file. Remember, at the Blink Fitness that I signed up for, because I could have did it here. Yeah. If I noticed that that was happening, I would do it here. So I drove my black all the way to Blink Fitness. Because I also like that one too. I like this one too, because it's close. If I knew that my card wasn't working and it should be working, but for some reason you're choosing not to apply the one that should be working, it's on you. Because why are you causing me to have a debt? Or call me and be like, hey, your car's not working. And I'm like, but there's 2 cars in file. They're like, oh yeah, I see that. Either way, why are you charging a card that shouldn't be charged? So when I said charge it to my card, that's when she said, oh, you also have a balance. And I'm like, that's when I got frustrated. Because I feel like, dude, if the balance was that important, why the hell did you let me walk there?
Yeah, you would have been stopped. Or you would have heard like a buzzer saying that there has to be attention to your account.
Yes. Because if the account, if the charge was accurate, I wouldn't be able to work out. Listen, I'm a person with upstanding character. I don't want to steal. Hence why I know that stealing is bad.
Mistakes and accidents happen, especially in computer systems like this. I used to work at them, it happened all the time, and I would just heard of it.
That's that. You know what?
And let me just say this, because Eve, you come out the house looking like this right here, and you say you're a person of upstanding standards. You got to be honest with yourself, man. All right? You don't come out looking like this. You got to have modest apparel on, man. This right here is a bad look, okay? Very bad, all right?
And I'm going to do her even a favor. I agree with you. Personally, I agree. I'm not going to do her any favors. I agree with you to an extent. Yes, but it's 2023. These type of mistakes shouldn't happen. And especially to me, I believe that it should never happen to me. So, I really also believe it should never happen to you. I actually believe it should have never happened to you.
I know, but
anyway, I'm not done. Because I wish you would take a note the whole time.
No, I'm listening to you. Front desk, and we asked that we called or if there was any emergency.
But if it's a customer issue, if a customer issue, that wouldn't make any sense. Who says you have to go to the desk first?
What was that?
Who says you have to go to the desk first if there's a customer issue?
Because normally they're the ones that call it.
Normally. But this clearly was not a normal situation. Unless this always happens at when a black person tries to just work out in the gym. But is that normal?
Galanya refused to move from the front desk, accused staff of robbery over a $2 water bottle and $55.32 balance, and bounced between drama queen and courtroom star.
What's going on? What the hell is going on?
I don't
Just
really know.
so I get an idea.
So if a customer has a pass through balance and they're standing on that machine over there, it pops up in the system.
That was their thing that they keep using when they come walking in? Okay.
So long story short, if that situation popped up on our machine, and it's our job to tell them, like, hey, you have overdue balance.
Okay.
My manager tried telling me that, but she walked away.
Okay.
So
Before that, she went to go address it. She went to go grab the water. So I was like, oh, she's going to come back and pay for it. So we address it there.
Okay.
She just kept walking. And I'm like, oh, excuse me. And then she just kept walking. So I had to, like, go up there. And I was
Where are the waters kept?
right
Just
behind
here?
you.
Okay.
So, like, you have to grab
So she
one
took the
still.
water and went into the gym.
So
Okay.
I'm just like, hey, and I'm like, I put it there. And I'm like, oh, excuse me. And I tried calling her and she wasn't listening. And I just
Okay.
kept, like, you have to at least pay for the water if we're not paying for the membership for it.
Okay.
So when I went to her and I was like, hey, and I was like, I'm so sorry, and I was like, I just needed to pay for the water up there. She's like, why are you just not charging it to my card? And I'm like, all right. And I was like, I didn't know to go ahead and do that. And I was like, I was trying to stop you, and I was like, if you have a past due balance on your account as well. And she's like, I don't know why it's charging the other account, just charge it on the card you have. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, I just need you to come up here with me. And I was like,
Okay.
she was just like, you just have my approval, just do it. I'm like, okay. So I went ahead and charged her for the water and for account
for the
that was past due.
Okay.
And then she came storming up here and being like, you guys stole my money. Like, why would you go ahead and do that? And I was like, you just gave me permission to do it because you didn't want to join me. Within that, I told her she could give me a second because I had to help two customers that were Spanish speaking because he doesn't speak Spanish.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, and I'm like, if you could just give me 1 second. And I was like, I'm just dealing with them. And I keep talking with them. She's like, oh, I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to just give you 5 seconds. And I started counting down. So the two customers, they're frequent here. So they were just like, just deal with her. Like, it's fine. Like, you could just help us later. And then that's when she started saying that we stole money to give her money back. And we should be waiving it.
Okay.
So as you can see, the male officer is here, you know, and the ox on the other side of the counter is being engaged with the other officers, but somehow feels the need to come interject herself in this conversation. And this is when, you know, for lack of better words, all hell is going to break loose. Okay, so let's just sit back and watch and see how these events unfold.
And that's when she was calling us.
Gotcha. And most of this interaction was with you.
Yes.
He didn't have any interaction with her?
No, like he was here present.
Told to step back, she went with shut up instead.
Hold on, wait.
Stay over by her. Don't come approaching me like that.
I can do whatever.
No, you can't because I'm going to take you out of here.
Then do it. No, you got to
take her out of here.
You got to take me out of here.
Now we're doing it.
Because I'm not doing nothing to you. I'm not doing anything that could even be
All I asked you to do was just back up. Back up.
No, I don't want you.
Back up.
You said they...
See, all she had to do was just back up like he said, man, because you know these officers, they on edge. They don't know what you gonna do, whether or not you gonna swing on them or whatever. Okay, for their safety, listen to the order, man. Back up. Okay, she said no, she's not. All right, showing you that what that mouth, man. Eve's mouth's gonna get her in trouble 10 out of 10 times.
It was simple.
Back up.
Why?
Because you were talking to them and I was talking to them.
Well, here I am.
Obviously, you can't talk to them, so if you keep yelling at me, I'm going to take you out of here in handcuffs.
Shut
And you
up.
are going to get
Get
away
do
from
your
me.
job.
Back up.
No.
This is your last chance.
No,
Then I'm taking you in.
please.
See this ox? She wanted to be muzzled, man, or he wanted to be muzzled, because the ox goes into a bull, which is a male cow, or a male cattle. So it got what it was looking for. Okay, they should have muzzled the mouth of it though. All right, and they do have apparatuses that they could put over your head to, you know, permit you from spitting on officers and things of that magnitude, but it didn't get to that point. But it should have, because this Eve, man, you know, she just continued to run her mouth, all right, to the point where now she done talked herself into being handcuffed.
Yep. Give me the water.
Take what's in my hand.
Let go of the water.
No,
Let go of the water.
no,
Let go of the water.
no.
She pay for the water? She did.
So put it back in my hand.
No, it's going to go with you.
Yeah.
Put it in my hand.
We don't want them to snap.
Let go of the phone. Let go of the phone.
You stole my phone.
It's going with you.
No, it's not. How do I know that? I have no idea where my phone is right now. You took it from me. Get off my finger.
Let go of headphones.
Why?
You
Why are you stealing my cup?
We're not stealing your property.
I'm
Let
under
go.
arrest.
Yes.
You're under arrest for
disorderly conduct.
process.
What is exactly disorderly? You said disorderly presence.
Disorderly conduct.
What is that?
Okay.
Let's go.
Yep.
charge you with resisting arrest too, so don't start.
I thought I was already arrested.
You are, and I'm gonna give you more charges.
How can I resist the arrest that I've always did?
Because you're pushing back against me. Knock it off.
I'm
Search,
not doing
please.
that. You're literally pushing me against your car.
I am now.
No, you were doing that before too. Why are you doing this? Why are you hating, white guy?
You don't know how to act civilly. That's why you're under arrest.
How do you act civilly?
Knock it off.
How do you act
Can you
civilly?
just
How do you act civilly?
just make sure?
I wish you would sexually assault me. I wish you would.
Get in the car.
How can I? You're holding me back.
You're resisting. You're pushing against me. Keep
No,
pushing
I'm not.
against me. I'm gonna charge you.
You already did.
Get in the car.
How?
Sit down. In the car.
Feet in first. Left foot
Put your
first.
foot in and get in the car.
Clearly, I don't know nothing.
Let's go. Get in the car.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sit in the car. Sit down.
Clearly, I can't because you're handcuffed me.
Sit down in the car.
There's a strap preventing me from doing that.
There is not. That is a seatbelt that's gonna go.
So they giving her ample amount of times to comply with the order that they gave her, which was to sit down in the car. All right. This is Proverbs 7 and 11. It reads, "She is loud and stubborn." See, she's stubborn and loud. Her feet abide not in her house. Now, this is going to her house, meaning that, you know, the place where she resides, where she's supposed to be a housekeeper. She goes, you know, as they say, she's for the streets. But this can apply for this particular incident right here, because her feet abide not in her house. Well, this car is her house for the time being to transport her to the what? Next phase or next facility, which is the police headquarters, all right? So it says Proverbs 7 and 11, she is loud and stubborn. You see, she don't want to get inside the car. But then when she gets strapped to the gurney, then all of a sudden she wants to sit in the car. Well, it's too late at that time, all right? You're going to stay strapped and be transported in restraints, all right? Because that's, you know, that's becoming of your behavior. All right, so it says Proverbs 7:11, she is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Let's watch it.
Over you as soon as you get in the car. Put your feet in the car.
The seatbelt.
Feet in the car.
The seatbelt is actually not giving me space to sit down.
Stop pushing back against me, and if you kick me in the shin, I'm gonna use force.
Why would I do that?
Because I just felt your foot hit me in the shin, so don't do it.
Where's your shin?
Don't do it.
Where's
Get
your
in
shin?
the car.
Where's your shin?
Put your feet
Wait,
in the car.
Oh, you hitting me to.
Put your feet in the car.
She refused to sit in the patrol car, got strapped to a gurney, kicked the booking cage like it owed her money, then returned later claiming she'd be kidnapped without a taxi ride.
Get in the car.
Oh shit! Ow.
Get in the car. Want to give me a hand?
I'm trying.
Get in the car.
Am I not in the car?
Put your feet in the car.
But I'm in the car.
Get in the
Put
car.
your feet
Just spit on my
in
lip.
the car.
Get in the
Now.
car.
They're in the car.
Get your feet in the car.
They're in the car.
They're not in the car.
Yes, it is. My feet is attached to my body, and my body's in the car.
Put the feet up into.
See that? That's why that muzzle need to come on her mouth, man. All right? No longer treading the corn, no longer working, man. Put a muzzle on your mouth, man. All right? And know when to just close it and zip it. And you would have never found yourself in this predicament in the first place. All right?
The car.
You would have to take the handcuffs off first. Oh, shit.
Lady, you ain't picking up that ox, man. All right? That's about a good 400 pounds right there. You gonna throw your back out, man. All right? It ain't happening, man. This is why, you know, you women shouldn't be inside the police forces or firefighters or anything, because you can't do the, you know, simplest task. It's lifting somebody's feet up, man. All right?
You want to lift her up going that way?
I'm trying.
If you're gonna do this, can you stop hurting me?
Can you get in the car properly? Just
I thought I was.
butt into the car. Just slide your butt in and put your feet right at the bottom of the
What are you doing right now? I have
Put your
questions.
feet in the car.
What are you doing, woman that's holding me?
Miss, you had to put your feet in the car for you to go inside to get processed.
Where are your hands?
My
Put
hands
your
are
feet
underneath your
in
knees.
the car.
Huh?
My hands are underneath your knees.
If your hands are underneath my knees, I'm handcuffed. How am I gonna put the feet in the car?
Slide them in.
How? You have my feelings.
Proverbs 7 and 11. Let's read it one more time. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. You see?
Anybody else?
I don't know how to.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just gotta.
Get in the car.
There's no way.
You're under arrest. Get in the car.
Just scoot into the seat and turn your feet in. Then plant your feet.
Now they coming up with other ways in their mind to transport this ox because it ain't clearly going the way they thought. So now they're gonna have to come up with another ingenious way to transport this ox, you know, to what? The headquarters, and we're gonna find out exactly how that way is gonna look and be.
It's everything you want. You're feeling right now.
This is not about my feelings. These are not about my feelings. Yes, my feelings are 100% hurt. Because why do you want to do this to me? I don't even know you. Why would I be calling you if I didn't have a problem?
Looks that was here, so.
But you are here now. You're talking about my feelings. Feelings never mentioned. Why are you bringing things that were never in the mix? You're changing the scenario. And I still don't have my purse.
Ma'am, stand up.
I can't. I can only stand up if my hands are uncuffed. That's the only way that my sense will come back. Because this isn't making sense. But I still have my sense that can smell, taste, eat, and do all the other stuff.
You'll sit, please.
Why am I going over there? I thought I need to go in the car.
Stand up.
I thought I need to stay in the car.
You had your turn. You had your chance to sit in the car properly as they asked you. You didn't want to comply, so now they have to find another way to transport you, as when a rancher transports his horse or cattle in the back of a trailer. Well, this is how you're going to get transported. Tied down to the gurney and transported in the back of an ambulance, okay? So no, you cannot sit in the car anymore. You had your chance and you blew it.
I already stayed in the car. So what are we doing now? What are we doing now? We're taking me out the car? We won't. The reason why I can't get the car. Why? I don't know. If I had to do something, I would rather not do it.
Sit down.
I don't want to be on the back.
Sit down. Sit down.
I don't want to sit on the back.
Sit down.
I don't want to sit.
You don't want to sit in the car. You don't want to sit in the bed. Pick your pick.
But I have to sit in the car.
Sit down.
I don't have a pick.
Sit down.
I want to sit in the car. Let me sit in the car. Ow, it's hurt. Taking the handcuffs hurt. Even more.
If you just sat down, it would have hurt.
I'll sit in the car. I'll sit in the car. I was sitting in the car.
No, you were not sitting in the car.
Now I'm lounging on the bed. What are you taking me for? To lounge on the bed? Where are we going?
It's easier sitting down.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's why
okay
we're
with that.
in this situation. I can see that.
Actually, yeah, I'm not okay with that. The handcuffs are hurting, and the fingers on my is restricting my boobs.
So sit back. Sit back.
I don't want to lounge even more on the bed. You said sit.
It doesn't go farther back.
You said to sit. I'm sitting. You don't want me to lean back.
You can muzzle everything, but if you don't muzzle that mouth, you ain't gonna have no way in chance, man. You see? You can muzzle the legs, the feet, the arms, but that mouth, man, that mouth is the one that you got to put a muzzle on, man. All right? Eve been given too much autonomy by the so-called white man in this world, man, to be able to speak how she want to speak and not have to pay for her consequences, man. All right? So you see the result of that, okay? Even the damn officers are perplexed as to what to do with this creature here.
You sit. Why do I gotta make them? Explain it to him.
Just explain trespassing if possible.
And the
They don't
only
want her
reason
back.
We'll get there.
Thank you.
shots in his head and handcuffed.
Mr. Gilliland.
So we have
stretch it. Yep, check up on it. What's that? It's the garage.
Foot,
Fix
my
it.
foot touches chest, which is where the chest are. Why'd you sexually harass me, officer? You and the other the woman officer sexually harassed me. What is that about? I don't want that shit. How do you think that's about? How would I be breast? What did you say chest? Why did I say you with chest? Why did you really have to make my foot touch her chest?
No. You gotta go that way. The gate, that fence goes right in front of the salad court.
I didn't want her to sexually harass me. Yes.
No, I do not.
Can you stop the TV?
I mean, I guess if this is what they can just probably get her on. I don't think it's pretty.
Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where is this building? What the hell? Nah, yeah, what the hell?
Stop.
What the hell? Yes, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Who said that? Who said what the hell?
No, let's.
At HQ, she upped the ante, refusing to sit, threatening to kick officers, and treating the inside of the booking cage like a drum set, only louder and less musical.
Only way you can do it is if
Take
you
your foot and do this.
Why are you going to teach me to how to
Because
make
you
you
can't
more?
do it.
How are you going to teach me to make you more?
Because clearly you can't do it.
More impede on my rights. Of course, I don't want to make you impede on my rights. Of course, I can't do that. And I want to do none of that. I want to kick her phone. Let me kick her phone. Why? Kick her phone.
Did you throw that card?
No. Get off of me. Move
You're
your.
not gonna tell me what to do.
Yes.
You got the wrong person.
Stop touching me.
You're touching me
How?
because you put your leg on my leg.
I didn't do that.
Move your
I
leg
thought that
back.
was so
You're the one laying on the bed, not me.
Save.
I'm laying on the bed.
You were.
Yeah.
Then you moved.
So what am I doing right
Now
now?
you're touching my leg.
I'm not touching your leg.
Okay.
So what the are you talking about?
Okay.
Okay, what? We're not good.
Is she gonna stay here? You gonna stay right here?
No.
Going in the.
We're good, everybody?
No. So
Go
I'm
sit over there so we can get this going.
No.
You want to leave?
And as you can see from the looks of it, the officers, the EMTs, they having a good time, man, at this woman's expense, okay? This is Proverbs 9:13. It reads, "A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing." She stated earlier in the video that she was a licensed attorney, all right? But yet she don't know how to conduct herself in such a manner, as into what? Getting names, badges, ID numbers, and just going through the process with little to no resistance as possible to build up your case in case you want to file a litigant against the state or whatever police department this is, along with conjunction with the Blink Fitness in whatever city or town that was in. No, okay? She is what? A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. Let's look up that word clamorous in the Greek. This is the, Salakia, this is the Hebrew word. This is Proverbs, so we in Hebrew. This is Proverbs 9:13. The word clamorous is the Hebrew word 1993.
Strong's H, 1993. Hama.
And some of the outline of biblical usage is to murmur, growl. You see, that's all she was doing was growling. Rah, 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 rah. Roar, cry, allow, mourn, rage, sound, make noise. That's all you heard come out of her mouth was just noise. None of it was anything that could be used beneficial. It was just noise, just la, 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 la. Tumult, be clamorous, be disquieted, be loud, be moved, be troubled, be in an uproar. All right, all these fits this ox right here. All right, so let's go back and read this and let the rest of this play, and then we probably get one or two more scriptures and close out. Proverbs 9:13. A foolish woman is clamorous, loud, disquiet. She is simple. She says she's a licensed attorney, but yet she don't know how to go about her way to conduct business, even in the predicament that she was in. And knoweth nothing. She don't know anything, man. Okay, this is why they need the tutelage or the guidance of a man. Okay, because they're out on their own, they're gonna just tear up the whole damn thing, man. That's why it says, roughly paraphrasing, what is it? Headstrong. Let me see if I can get that. A child left to his own. Let me see. I think that's in Ecclesiasticus. No, Proverbs 29 and 15. Let me see if that's it. Nope, that's not the one I'm looking for. There we go. Ecclesiasticus chapter 30 and verse 8. And horse not broken becometh headstrong. So you see, these women, liken it to cattle, especially this ox right here. It says it's headstrong and it's not broken. It says, and a horse not broken becometh headstrong. All right, this is exactly what this society has allowed to breed these headstrong women. It says, and a child left to himself will be willful. Okay, this is exactly what we see in this childlike behavior, man.
Right? You don't want to be here. You don't want to be arrested. You don't want to be handcuffed. So sit over there so we can process you and release you. That's it.
Why is that okay?
You're under arrest. You're under arrest.
But you know I'm not under arrest.
You are under arrest.
What makes you believe I'm under arrest?
Because you're handcuffed.
So I guess now this is a woman of color. She feels some type of connection between her as she's going to state, if you would just move that piece of hair out of my face, I'll go into the prison or into the jail cell. Okay. But hey, whether she connect with you or not, you could have had this attitude in the beginning and you could have been on about your way in the first place. Okay. But see, because they look a different type of complexion than you think they ought to get you. Well, all you had to do was comply with the law from the beginning, and you could have just took this to whatever civil court in your town, your city, your state, whatever, and went about it to get your reparations that way. You didn't have to go all the way to the headquarters of this police officer or this police headquarters to find a woman of color to have a connection to actually listen and follow directions. Okay. So let's read that again. This is Proverbs. We'll read Proverbs 29. It says, Proverbs 29 and 15, the rod in reproof give wisdom, which is his word. But a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. Okay. And I'm pretty sure she comes up in a culture, especially being Nigerian, if I think that's what her name entails, that she's Nigerian. Her father and mother's probably looking down on her like, damn, this is what happened when you come to America and you try to become an attorney and you get westernized, okay? You have this type of behavior, man. They may have already disowned her a long time ago, all right? So now let's go to Proverbs 9 and we'll let the rest of this play out and then we'll close it out. Proverbs 9 and 13, it says what? A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing.
So, let me explain to you why I'm not under arrest. Could you do me a favor? What is it? Can you at least remove this one piece of hair that's bothering me? The bird girl?
Can you do me a favor and go into there?
If you remove the hair first. How the did you even know? You want to make a fool of me?
They want to dispatch. The individuals say that this,
And that's all you had to do from the beginning. Eve was just follow the damn instructions and you would have been on your way home and never been in this predicament in the first place. All right?
probably happened in Elizabeth near a 7-Eleven.
That's her attire.
By the train station.
Yeah.
Because he walked
I was at the gym.
Are you okay with her having another shirt? No, this is her attire.
Okay.
You okay with?
I was at the gym, by the way. Hey, do you care?
Yes, I do actually care. That's why I'm trying to talk to you. Go ahead, shut that for a second. Good.
And that's what you do to a wild animal. You put it behind the bars. You lock it up, man. You have a quarantine period. Make sure they don't have any type of, diseases or ailments that can affect the other cattle of the herd, of the flock, whatever it is that you're, raising up. All right. So that's going to be it. We're going to close out with 1 Peter 5:8, and that reads, "Be sober, be vigilant." Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. All right. And for the most part, 99% of our women, they ain't going on this side, man. Okay. They ain't going to get it. They ain't going to get it. Because why? They've been given that autonomy to speak and do whatever it is they want without having to pay any repercussions. Okay. That's why she continues to say she's not under arrest. Okay. So with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.